First thing the girl did after marrying her comatose husband was drag him into posing for all sorts of cute positions to keep as a collection. Her comatose husband was so adorable and obedient she could not resist. In return, he rewarded her with a book about postpartum care for sows. But the next second, he coughed up blood from anger. It turned out that the day before, the girl had married the comatose prince on behalf of her sister. She had just gotten out of the car when the prince's mansion forced her into a 10-second hold. But before she could enjoy it, the servants reported the prince had coughed up blood again. Seeing a long-term meal ticket in danger, she silently prayed that the prince would hold on. She did not want to become a widow at such a young age. Fortunately, the doctor found that the young master only had a bit of blood and was otherwise fine. Finally, she had the heart to examine her comatose husband. Although lying in bed, he still had a handsome face. To get her mother-in-law to give her more living expenses, the girl immediately went over and fawned, saying she would take care of him. After a frantic session of touching, she muttered to herself that even though her husband had been lying down for so long, his 8-pack was still in good shape. Unbeknownst to her, the man had clearly heard her thoughts. The girl thought his abs were nice, but she wondered if his skills were up to par. Her lascivious thoughts caused the man's emotions to spike. His heartbeat soared rapidly. The doctor, watching, exclaimed, "This was a medical miracle." The mother-in-law noticed her son's reaction and credited it to the girl. She marveled that science had reached the point of mysticism. She immediately took out a black card, promising to give him 10 million a month as pocket money. The girl was thrilled, but kept up her coquettish act, telling her mother-in-law she was not after money. She had admired Mr. Chi for a long time, and marrying him was an honor. But in her mind she thought, hopefully this bargain husband could hold on, at least long enough for her to reach 3 small goals. The man heard her thoughts again. His heartbeat accelerated in anger. He wanted to punch her twice. The doctor noted his heart rate was like a rocket, and might wake him up soon. The old lady was overjoyed, and told the girl to spend more time with her son. The doctor said she should tell him stories often, to stimulate his atrophied nerve cells. The old lady said her son loved reading, and wanted them to interact more to build feelings. Next, the girl pulled out her private collection, the postpartum care book for sows, and started reading it seriously. The prince trembled in his mind. He was neither a sow nor postpartum, and did not need care. Seeing her husband unresponsive, she switched to another book, The CEO's Gentle Pampering. At that moment, the prince wished he could die. The old lady saw them getting along well, and was very pleased with her daughter-in-law. The girl noticed her husband was red-faced even with a respirator. She thought, surely a single book could not send him off. Looking at the ECG, his breathing seemed strong. She assumed he enjoyed the stories, and continued reading. The man wanted to tell her to shut up, but he could not speak. Suddenly she cried out, pointing at a spot, saying it had stiffened. His younger brother and mother rushed in. She quickly explained it was his fist. The old lady noticed her son could move, and once again approved of this not-so-smart daughter-in-law. She wanted to give her a family heirloom bracelet. The youngest son stopped her, saying it was from the great-grandmother and worth 10 courtyard homes in the capital. The girl's eyes sparkled. She said no, but her hands reached for the bracelet anyway. The old lady insisted. Since she married into the Chi family, they were now one family. She placed the bracelet in the girl's hand, confident her son would agree once awake. The man thought, absolutely not. The next day, the foster father's family suddenly came, because the scheming sister envied how well the girl was living. The foster mother revealed the birthday record was not the girl's but her biological daughter's. Then the sister handed over the correct birth data. Upstairs, the servants chatted in front of the young master, saying the fake girl would be kicked out by the old lady. She had seemed favored by the young master, but now she would be heartbroken. The man thought she would be heartbroken. After all, he had let her touch him all over, taken pictures, and even kissed her, endured countless humiliating words. Now she was being expelled. How could he not want revenge? The man grew angrier and coughed up a mouthful of blood. The servants immediately informed the old lady. She fainted from fright. The foster mother took the opportunity to accuse the girl of being a disaster, and told the second young master to kick her out. The second young master already thought the girl unworthy of his elder brother, so he made her sign a divorce agreement and leave the Chi family before his brother awoke. The girl felt like a deflated balloon. The wealth she had finally obtained would disappear before it warmed. She felt extremely wronged. As she was about to sign, a voice came from upstairs, saying the marriage could not end. Everyone looked up, and saw the young master lying in bed.